right, so welcome to this special edition of What Say You. Oof, we just recorded 20 minutes?
More, man.
20 minutes?
No, more.
Yeah. Something happened with the fucking recorder.
This is fucked up, man. I don't know how
we
we
lost
do
it.
this.
No, we're going to do fine.
I gotta be honest with you right now.
Bring us in.
I don't know.
Bring us in.
Welcome to episode 40.
Okay.
We
got
it off like you've fallen into a low-grade depression.
Yeah, no, we're good. I think this is going to work out better. It's going to be round 2. Everybody's going to be happy.
All right.
Golden. We're doing great.
All right, so this is episode 40.
40A.
40A of the What Say You podcast. Let me tell you what happened. We're recording a podcast that I was in love with.
Right.
Some I like way better than others. I like this one a lot.
Yeah.
And the battery died on our recorder.
No, the battery didn't die.
Well, there were no batteries.
There were no
Here nor there at this point. We got F right in the hole.
No, we didn't. Everything's golden. You gotta come on. Introduce Rachel. We got Tommy. We got the guest.
Okay. All right. Okay.
What do you think? She's got one good story?
No, but I just loved everything that we shared.
I know,
so
everything
far.
was great, but that was for us.
I like the way you take care of him. You really helped him. You put your own feelings aside, like a good father for his family, you carried the burden of that.
Thank you.
Immediately, it's not like you weren't feeling the same things. You had the same pain in your man.
I actually
you took care of him.
felt more responsible because I should have put batteries in it.
Yeah,
but that's what's going to happen. One of us will assume the role that they just can't take it anymore, and the other one has to assume the opposite role.
Right.
So I latched on to the drama, and you have to be the guy that pulls me out of it.
I'm pulling you out right now. Come on, bring Rachel in.
Okay.
Let's introduce her.
We have our friend and hysterical, lovely comedian Rachel Feinstein with us today.
Right,
Thanks, guys.
All right, now we have a list of topics that we covered.
Yes, Tommy Cody. Who is our friend and coworker here.
He works on a Practical Jokers.
Yes. He put the bullet points of the 1 hour, like one of my favorite podcasts that I've done in a while.
Come on, shake it off.
And that we just lost. And these were the talking points that happened in this room that you guys will never be able to recreate.
Right.
And you guys will never understand.
Well, I really don't want to lose whole homebrays.
I mean, what are we going to do now? Go back?
Either.
And I was talking with a fervor that I can't recreate.
No.
I was right. It was everything.
Okay.
Was,
all right. Give me this list.
Everything was from the hip.
All right, Rachel. We have to give Sal some time to recover.
Okay.
So we're going to talk about this. We covered epicenter versus center.
Yes.
Which we never found out whether it's a geological term or not.
Yeah. They were asking me what intro I wanted. I said just to say that I'm in the center of show business. And then I said epicenter. And then I realized I had no idea what that meant.
I love that we are giving.
No, what did I tell you?
Telling the story of the last podcast. This podcast is the story of the last podcast.
No, it's not. We're moving on into exciting new directions.
Fun, right up top, we did this really fun intro.
I know, we did.
Rachel told me how to introduce her.
We got the story of Rachel moving to New York City when she was 17. Yes. She hung out with a drag queen, and that's what got her into
Kenny Wonder
comedy.
Oh, she wants to find Kenny Wonder. He was hysterical.
Right.
He drew Nancy Drew pictures.
Right.
And horses.
That's right.
And it always ended up with Nancy Drew fucking everyone.
Did Nancy Drew ever fuck a horse?
No, I don't think she fucked a horse.
Okay.
Basically, but it started out as we worked together at the store, and he would start to tell a Nancy Drew story while we were working, and we were trying not to get caught because we weren't supposed to talk to each other. Have you ever worked with somebody where you just get scolded again and again because you just want to talk to each other and your job is moronic? And so we just kept getting caught talking, and then he would very quietly read these Nancy Drew stories, and he'd be like, Nancy was short as she walked through the courtyard, and then he'd be like, she was following a trail of breadcrumbs, and then she finally got to, and instead of it getting to the heart of the mystery, Nancy got to cock. That was the joke. Yeah, Nancy just got to just a boatload of cock, and then he'd be like, and she found what she was always searching for a fortnight, which was cock. She was looking for cock, and he would whisper this while I was working, and I just start laughing in that place where you're crying and you can't manage yourself at all, and then I would just get scolded again and again. But then I was like, oh, I want to do something like that. I mean, not like I want to be a tranny, but like I was like I want to like go perform or do something. And so.
And how long have you been doing stand-up? Are you ready to jump back in? How you feeling?
Well, I'm just going to give like a quick cliff note. Okay. So you were basically a juvenile delinquent, like a criminal. Is that what you said?
Right.
No,
you had slept with several teachers in high school.
Up, you didn't do work in school, and you found yourself in summer school a lot.
I like that. That's what he remembered. So when you grew up, you were a godless whore. I think we left off. No, I wasn't even really sexually active until I fell for Dick's sister, the first guy I moved to New York with.
Right.
But I was. It's safe to say I was a bad kid, and that I never did my work. I did not care for school.
Right.
And I would just do bad stuff in general, but not like I was like there was blow all over my nose, and I was just like having all this sex. It was instead like
shenanigans,
fun-loving shenanigans. Sure. Like in science, we were supposed to dissect this fetal pig, and I got everybody to like steal the pigs because it seemed fun, the dead pigs. And then we like met at night on the football field, and we the plan was, I have no idea why this was a plan. It was, but it was the plan. I really am abusing that word. Was that we got a bunch of 40s and we drank 40s and just hurled the pigs across the football field. I've never had so much fun in my life.
The pigs.
They were dead. They died a long time before that.
Right.
It was just the foolishness of hurling a pig like that and drinking and
like as intricate as Ocean's 11. There's like blueprints.
Step 1, show up at the football field. Step 2, take a sip.
If anything, we gave
throw a fetal pig.
Yeah, we gave the pigs a last breath of life. I mean, they had a lot more fun than I'm sure they were having Mr. Crowley's science room.
They're like pig abortions.
Yes,
they're
you're
not
right.
even fully formed.
No, they've been
pigs.
freshly aborted.
Yeah. So, needless to say, you were up with some hijinks in high school.
Yes.
And then your parents are very liberal.
Yeah.
Right? First of all, your aunt changed the New York State law.
Oh, yeah.
Your Aunt Edith changed the New York State law to make it legal for people to smell meat before they buy it. She just wouldn't leave Beth Meyerson alone.
That's right.
Am I right?
Wow, you remembered Beth Meyerson?
Yeah.
So
she missed that whole fucking story. That was a fucking battery.
My great aunt Edith Schneider, she was constantly complaining because she was too cheap to just pay for meat. She wanted to know it was delightful first. She wanted to know that it tasted great.
Which is funny that she could do that from smelling.
I know. I don't even really know what she was figuring out.
I can tell you if meat is rancid or not from smelling it, but she's like, this is good meat.
Maybe she wanted to know. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe she wanted to know if it was rancid. That's a good point. But she was just constantly talking about it. She was outraged. Of all the things you could be outraged by, she was outraged that she'd be like, you should be able to sniff meat before you purchase it. I'm not going to collect coins to buy a package of meat unless it's fresh. It's ridiculous. Who do these bigwigs think they are? She would always refer to it as the fat cats in Washington. I'm like, I'm not really sure that's what they're thinking about. She's like, these fat cats in Washington aren't going to take away my right as a Jew to sniff meat before I buy it. I'm like, I think these oily, red-faced fat cats. I'm like, I don't think that's what they're working on. I think they have larger scandals.
The term fat cat does not get used as much as it should.
It is a really satisfying thing to say.
There was Green Arrow, the comic book character.
Yeah.
He's on that. His thing in the 60s was he fought corporate fat cats, and he dropped fat cats left and right. That was his thing.
Is that the Seth Rogen thing? He did a reboot?
No, that was Green Hornet. Green Arrow is a guy that shoots arrows.
So the reason we were on the heels of law changing is because there was a huge discussion about statutory rape and if it's fair.
Well, yeah, it was a Sal generated discussion.
Right.
Sal kept trying to figure out if there were any fine lines or blurry ones in terms of statutory rape. It was getting more and more suspicious.
He was taking notes. Did you notice that?
His questions were getting more and more specific. He was asking for a friend, an old cousin that's in trouble.
We heard you were up to high school shenanigans. Q asked you, did you ever sleep with one of your teachers? And then I said, I don't think it's illegal once the kid turns 18. There's 18-year-old high school students. And I think at that point, it's really just you're just judging them, right?
School rules.
So then, from telling the story.
I don't know why you're retelling. Why don't we just go in different directions? Well, woman's got a whole career we're here to talk about. Let's just dive into that.
I understand, but
you can't.
I want to
recreate.
I want to know
my Feinstein name change joke, but I can't. It's a great joke. It's lost forever. But, don't worry about it.
Well, let me just say this.
What happened was this: Rachel says everybody mispronounces her name, and then she was going to change her name, and then I just said just change your name to the opposite way that you could say the name, and the whole room laughed and laughed and laughed. It went so well, and it's lost forever.
That's
yeah,
true,
you made an amazing joke about my name, and everybody was on your dick after that.
I know. It was like Tommy's was just all over my dick.
But I just want to know.
What do you want to know?
If why is it okay for a 50-year-old guy or a woman to have sex with a not okay?
That's why he wants to repeat stuff, because he wants to get back to figuring this out for his quote friend.
If the guy or woman is 50 and the person's 18, but if the kids are dating, and then once the one turns 17, they're both 17, and then one turns 18 before the 17-year-old, and they've been having sex for years already, all of a sudden now he can't have, it's against the law for him to have sex with her, or vice versa.
Right.
And I pontificated that if You're
so thrown. Never seen.
If they were inside each other on the birthday when it strikes midnight, and the person turned 18, but there was already penetration happening.
Right. Yeah.
How does that happen? Like it becomes illegal. Yeah, and then Tommy.
The old midnight mid-fuck. We've all been there, my friends.
All right, so anyway, we had such a lovely...
When the clock strikes jail time. Isn't it such a fine line? Yeah.
I feel we're still having a good time.
All right.
Now, Rachel, as we had ended we were approaching the 3-hour mark on the first podcast, and we were reaching the end. Was there anything that you were like, oh shit, I wanted to talk about this or mention this, or was there anything that you wanted to talk about that we didn't get to, that now, since we have to do a whole nother podcast, we can get to? Anything on your mind? You okay?
Anything, yeah. Just that you can ask me anything.
Well, when we left off, I was just asking you how you, like, when you first got up, about the first time you started and
the first time I did stand-up.
Yeah,
in New York City.
In New York City,
yes.
yeah.
Do you remember where? Of course you do.
Yeah, it was at a bar on the Upper East Side, and I met like a comedian in a bar, and he told me about this show, and I was really excited. I was babysitting at the time. I had just been fired from it was this store on Broadway called Fat Shoes and Clothes. And I thought it was like the coolest thing ever. You know when you first move to New York and everything's cool? Like you just walk into like a bodega and you're like, I'm the shit. I'm a Beastie Boy, clearly. Everybody needs to kiss my ass. Yeah. Like I walked into a bodega. I'm a Beastie Boy. Can I please have that level of respect? And I just kept calling my friends back home, like my phone cards in Bethesda, just bragging to them. Like, guess what? Now I work at Fat Shoes and Clothes. Yeah. So I thought like I'd arrived basically. Like that's it. I just have to like work at a store with a name that cool. And so I went into work and I was thinking about doing stand-up, and I got fired in under 4 hours.
No.
Yeah, because basically like they wanted me to talk to people and convince them to buy this clothing. I can't do that. I just feel ridiculous bothering people like that. And they wanted me to fold things. And I've always been like a bit of an animal like that. Like I'm not really a woman, you know, like, and I'm like, I'm supposed to be able to like fold. I can't fold things. My fold was like it was vulgar. I had like a vulgar fold. And the guy was watching me. I remember the guy was just getting more and more grossed out. And I was like frantically trying to fold, you know? Yeah, it looked like an old...
They didn't take the time to teach you? Like you're just supposed to know how to fold?
Yeah, I guess Exactly. They were like, sexist pigs. Yeah, those fat cats that...
Yeah, those sexist fat cats.
Yeah, fat. Yeah, you're right. It was their fault.
Fat shoes and... What is it? Fat shoes and clothes?
Yeah, Fat Shoes and Clothes. And he was like... And then I remember, so he was like, please fold in this pile and whatever. And so I tried, and then he was like, it's disgusting. And he was like...
pH fat?
Grossed out by me. What's that?
Was it pH fat?
Yes, pH fat. And so... And then he's like... It was just like this... Russian man that was getting more and more angry at me that I couldn't like deal with people properly, and he's like, just go convince them they're wanting to spend money, even if they're saying I can't afford, etc. Please just like make them buy. Just you make them buy. So he's like, tell them anything, tell them jeans, it's like special thread. He like went through all the tricks he had up his slimy sleeve. Yeah. It's like tell them like
see that guy coming a mile away. He's still here. He's in like 1/3 of the store. Now
he's just
it's like tell them jeans special. If they ask it shrink, it find out first. Does it want it to shrink? If it does, then it shrinks, motherfucker. It doesn't, fuck you. Of course not. Yeah. Just oil buyer. Oil the buyer.
He's in the oceans of diamonds, man. Yeah, come on in.
Yeah, so it's like, please, it's taking 4 minutes, Like, basically, in his mind, he was like, you can do this, bitch. Like, imagine, like, they were going to, like, send you back to the bread line. If you didn't sell that, then you'd sell it, you lazy pig. Yeah, so I went over there and I just shuffled. I tried. But I felt I couldn't do it. I couldn't make the sale. I couldn't oil properly. I couldn't oil the buyer. And then he watched me fold. He sent me back to the folding station. And then he just brought me over to him and he fired me in such a sad way. He didn't even say you're fired. He just made like sort of a smearing gesture towards the door. He smoked a lot, and there was always like he was just a filthy man. There was a lot of ashes on his shirt. And it was just like, actually, please. And then he just kind of like, I was like, what? Actually, please, what? Like, what? When do you need me tomorrow? Like,
please, like, leave.
Yeah, I thought it was like, actually, please, more of you. I don't know why I would think that.
Actually, please. Yeah. And that gesture is like the funniest thing I've ever heard of.
Yeah.
he's giving you a fragment of the thought in his head. And he's communicating the rest of it with body language.
Oh, it hurts so bad.
Actually, please just shuffle the fuck out of here.
Yes.
And don't come back.
If he was like to have said a full like sentence of what he was really thinking, is like, actually, my time is wasted. I wish you have not existed, or I was unaware of existence. Yours, please just don't exist. Yeah, short story, don't exist. Favor to me, don't exist. Hassle to me that you existed. Basically.
Did you get it? What are you saying?
I did. It took me a few swipes, like if that's what I can call his gesture. It was like a door swipe. At first, I misunderstood it. It was such a sadness to it. I was like, "You need me tomorrow? When? Actually, yes, when?" And he was like, "No, tomorrow it's not possibility."
Did you get paid for that day, or that never happened?
Yeah, I think I got paid for like the 3 hours that I was there, and then I walked. I remember I bought like a Brooklyn Lager. Again, I thought that was really cool. I'm so New York. I just bought like a beer and I'm drinking it in a brown paper bag, and I walked like across like the Brooklyn Bridge, and I was like, I'm going to be somebody in this world, I tell you. Rather than just some broad that gets ignored by Dick's sister, who's the name of the guy whose band I was.
We missed all that.
I was in a band with this guy. Don't start mourning what we've missed, but I was in a band with this guy. I was going out with a guy in a band called Dick's Sister.
And
Dick's sister.
Moved here with
I moved to New York with Dick's sister. Dick's sister didn't really want me living with them. I was just this guy's girl that was like messing up their band time and hanging time.
Yoko?
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. So I was walking over the bridge, just weeping. It was such a sad moment. Yeah. And I was just like, I'll tell this world. I'll make a mark, I tell you. Only to get home and just be like ignored by Dick's sister. Yeah. And then I was like, I had a fuzzy idea that I wanted to do stand up. So anyway, then I met this person at this bar. He put me up at this place and I did a set, and
You worked a set or you just got up?
I went up. I told some stories. I got another job as a nanny, and I was like nervous all day. You know that kind of like fear where I was like shaking. I couldn't make like appropriate eye contact with people for the whole day. I was just not okay, and I just kept fantasizing about some sort of a fire. I was like, "There's got to be I need a fire."
As a nanny?
Yeah. No, at the club.
I was about to say, like, that's harsh, because there's definitely children involved. You're praying for a fire.
No. I was not fantasizing about murdering the children. The children were safe. But I was just like, I have to go on stage tonight.
She's like, actually, please, children.
Actually, please, children, step inside fire. It's fine, my dear.
It's good. Fire's good.
It's you or me and my comedy dreams. Yeah, so I burned a gaggle of children, and then I went that night, and it was just like this bar, and I went up and I told like a few stories, and I did some what I considered comedy at the time. I was awful, of course, and I thought it went great. A lot of people have that experience where they get off the first time and they want to cry. I was like, I was amazing. Right. The people need me. Clearly. Like, I've got to continue for them.
Right.
And, somewhere in your head, like in a balloon over his head, the guy's going, yes, please, continue. Continue comedy.
Yeah, I definitely was just like, this is it. They need you to continue. Yeah.
That first time you get a few laughs, you have a kind audience, and you're like, oh, what was the big hubbub about?
Exactly.
Like, what about the first time you felt the opposite?
Well, actually, I mean, I found out afterwards I was awful, and the people wanted me off stage. I drank 4 Jack and Cokes because I was so nervous, and I barely drank at the time, so I was just wildly drunk. So in my mind, it went really well.
Right.
And apparently, the microphone was just sort of in front of my face, like diagonally, like it was just like sitting in the wrong direction.
Like that.
Yes, exactly. Sal's pointing the microphone at his forehead, and that's exactly how I looked. They're just like, get this moron off stage. She's not even speaking into the mic, and I was just telling stories in this like really rapid, frantic way, and they were just like, yeah, get frantic out of here. Let's have a reasonable performer. And so afterwards, I was just like, so when do you need me again? I'll do my best. And they were definitely, again, like, actually, please, no.
It was like an American woman. She's still like, no, actually, please.
Actually, services comedy, it's rancid. It's much like your folds, and please leave.
Yes, we have heard about your fault. And now we know about your comedy. And you burn children.
We check your references.
And I had a friend there that came, and I went to high school with her, and she was so excited that I finally did it, because I had some vague idea of comedy something. And she brought flowers, and she was like a lovely person. And even she just could not muster much up, but like, ooh, ouch.
What is to be expected of you? Nothing should be expected of that.
Yeah, exactly. She was just like, wow. I mean, I'm sure if you watched, anybody in the room, they wouldn't have seen a gram of talent. It was very disappointing performance.
How long before you got up again?
About a week later, I did. Somebody there told me, they were like, oh, I have this show and you can bring 3 people to perform. I don't know if you guys have heard of those, like bringer shows, basically. Sure. So it's just a way for the comedy club to make money. Right. But I thought she was like, you have it, please, we need you here. So I thought that was like a major opportunity. Like, and I got nervous to talk to her afterwards. Like, I thought that phone call I could fuck up, that I wasn't just like some money for the club for her. Right. Like she needed like a bunch of people like me so that we could get people and bother them and come to the show. So I started doing those bringer shows. And then I did some of those, and then after a while I said it had a semi-good set, and then Jeff Ross came to Caroline's, and I was doing one of those bringer shows, but they'd let like a regular comic, they'd have like a real comic close. Yeah. So Jeff came on and closed, and I was a little better by then. And then he came up afterwards, and he was like, oh, you're good. Like, I can get you some work. I can get you like a regular spot at this club. Yeah, he was really nice, yeah. Right. He's one of those guys that like, I'm sure you've had this experience as before you guys like got your show and became like successful and everything, where like, oh, he said something and then he just did that thing, which is so rare. Right. He didn't like come over like, hey, sugar tits, I'll show you someplace in show business, or I'll get you somewhere, and then you never heard from him again, or he tried to like, or whatever. He was just really nice, and so he was like, I can get you a spot. And then I remember like the next day, he gave me his number, and I was like, oh, I have a celebrity's number. Like I was such a dork. And then so the next day I was like at my nanny job, and I gave him like my work number, and he gave me his. And so then he was like, call me or something. So I called him from their phone, and I was like shaking. And Jeff was like on the treadmill, which I thought was like so cool. He's like, hey kid, I'm on the treadmill or whatever. And I was like, wow, like that's so like LA, Like he called me from the mill, to like do some business during his day business, help out that kid, a couple other things from the treadmill. Yeah. I remember thinking like, wow, that guy's success, the treadmill call, that's success, And so he was like, come show up 8:00 Monday or whatever. I'll get you on at this other club. And so I went there, and then I got my first spot, like real show there. Okay. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. And how old was this? How old were you?
This was like, it was like 13 years ago. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, for a split second, I thought you like I was about 13. I was like,
13, 14 years ago. Yeah. It was a while ago. Yeah.
Okay. So that's what you've been doing about 13 years.
Yeah. I was in my early 20s. Yeah. And so, then he got me my first thing, and that was cool. And then I went up there, and, I just continued to bomb and have a good set a day, and then a disastrous day like everybody. But a few people were really nice to me. So, like, Attell brought me on some road gigs with him, and just certain people started bringing me around, and yeah. But I was definitely like a quaking mess at that time, and I think what would it have been like if I had started when I wasn't just such an anxious person in general. Like, you're early 20s. Like, you don't know what the hell you're doing with yourself, I remember I wore overalls all the time. These ridiculous Dickies overalls. Oh, and I thought I was a Beastie Boy, so I was like, I need to put on my Dickies overalls. You know when you think like your T-shirt makes you cool? Like I had some dumb like I had like a License to Ill shirt on. I'd wear my like overalls and I looked ridiculous. And I went into this high school and they were like heckling me and they were screaming like Super Mario Brothers, you stink.
We talked about this yesterday. How kids cut. Man, young kids know how to insult, man. It sounds like the most like
so stupid, but what it's like
innocuous thing, but it really like it's like oh shit.
That's Super Mario's. I'll never forget that. Right. And then I had to turn around, and there was like. I was at this high school just wildly bombing. They were just like furious about me. They're like, "Shut up, you stink!" Yeah, they were angry. And then there was this big, thick velvet curtain behind me. You know, the kind that like in a high school stage and so long. And it's like it was like a bad dream, you guys. I turned around.
Couldn't get out.
I couldn't figure out where it opened.
Just like trying to push.
Yeah, how do you not just hang yourself? I mean, that's rough. Yeah, I was just like racing up and down in my dumb outfit trying to find the opening for the curtain. Yeah.
Some kids like. Throwing gold coins.
Throwing coins at you.
Oh God!
That you in a Carhartt? Oh, did you say Carhartt? What did you say? Overall?
I did have a Carhartt jacket, but it was Dickies
You in a
overalls.
Dickie overall, just trying to find the seam of the stage in the curtain. That's insane.
It was so sad. Yeah.
But you kept doing. I mean, you are. I mean, you're a.
You made it to the What Say You podcast.
Here you are. You made it to a podcast that just we lost because we lost batteries. No, but you. So our listeners know too. You, besides stand up, you act in a lot of stuff too. You're on TV and a bunch.
Yeah, I mean, I've been doing it a while. It's nice to say you make a living at it, but you guys know how it is. It's like first I was just like, I just want to be on TV, and then you get on some show, and then you're like, I want a half-hour special, and then you do that, and then you're like, and as soon as you do something, you render it worthless. You're like, oh, that doesn't matter. I must do this other thing.
Right.
That's the thing that'll make
Do
you
you
whole.
wait till it's over before you render it useless, or are you like me where I'm in the middle of it and I'm like, this is useless? Like that's the way that I've approached life since almost day one.
That's a good question. I think I'm never able to really like take things in. I'm learning. I'm trying. But yeah, there's the process. You're slowly undermining yourself. I think the way that I undermine a lot of things is like I'll get something and then I start getting convinced that somebody doesn't like me that's involved in it. So I like overanalyze a lot of social interactions instead of like focus on what's actually happening. I don't know if you guys ever do that, but like I'll be like, oh, I had that one exchange with that one person that they don't remember, and so maybe I'm doing another Comedy Central special, but clearly the cameraman thinks I'm a disgusting person and wants me out of the building. And later you're like, he doesn't care about you.
He's got his own
doing
problems.
His job.
He's just working a camera.
I'm trying to learn to do that. I'm a little better than I was, but we all have the same therapist, all the comics. Like most of us go to the same guy. Yeah.
Ow.
And that's helpful. He's always like, because I'm always like, it doesn't matter or whatever. Or I'll be like, or another thing I say a lot in therapy is I'm like, oh, whatever, I'm not a woman. And he's like, what does that mean? That doesn't mean anything, Or I'll be like, I'm just a rancid road lady. And he's like, what is a road lady? What are you talking about? Yeah. And then Alan Lefkowitz will be like, I'm not doing this again, Rachel. We're not going to do the road lady thing. It's just a way for you to undermine yourself. But the cool thing is he understands everybody in the in the whole world. Like he understands everything about it.
Is it like another comedian's like, you should go to this person? We all do.
Yeah.
Is that how it happens?
Yeah, I got referred by another comedian, but we all go to him. There's one comic I know that like followed him on vacation. He like what about Bob's him because he needed him so bad. Yeah, and they had like a gentle like man talk on a log or something, and he was like,
that actually sounds pretty nice. I'd like a man talk on a log.
Doesn't it sound pleasing?
Yeah, like my father never took me aside on a log and told me anything.
This is like a comics therapist.
Yeah.
I wonder if he's like more qualified than my regular therapist.
I don't know that therapists are qualified at all. Or like, isn't it just like, no? And I'm not I don't dislike therapy. I've been in it, but I just want to like at the end of the day, it's just the same thing as like your parents or fucking Jack Benny, like it's just another dude or dude.
Jack
or
Benny's
like,
the last name I thought.
Yeah, like, you know what I mean? Like,
Hold on, what?
Yeah, like I know you guys.
At the end of the day,
Therapy or a fun-loving performance of the Marx Brothers? You choose. Same
At the end
results.
of the day, the therapist is like your parents or Jack Benny.
No better than.
Oh, no
better
better.
than your parents.
Oh, I thought you were saying it's a choice. Like, you know, you could go to psychoanalysis or you could watch another episode of I Love Lucy,
Well,
all
let's
right?
talk about that for a second.
Yeah.
But no, like you have to assume Jack Benny didn't know what the fuck was going on. I know my parents didn't really know what was going on. Like, there's no way my therapist ever knows what's going on. You're just like,
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's something to it, right? Because you say,
oh, there's definitely something to it.
yeah,
Yeah.
Because I was always like, I don't even talk to like friends about like issues.
Right.
Like I don't talk to anyone at all because I'm just like, well,
Right.
look, I'm self-aware enough to know that if I can tell you what our conversation is going to be.
Right.
Like if you told me what I wanted to tell you, I would know what I would tell you as advice. So like, why am I telling anyone this stuff? Like, I know what's going on. I know this is an issue I have to deal with. This is. And then you go and you're like, God, that kind of felt good to get off my chest to someone who doesn't know me at all. Actually,
Right.
You know what I mean? Maybe that's it. I don't know.
Do you guys find that you've lied? Like, do you ever not tell the whole truth?
Therapy?
I'll notice that sometimes.
Therapy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes
You'll just
I
tell
do.
your version of the story.
And sometimes I'll get. Yeah.
You're just telling your version of it. Like
That is hysterical.
Definitely, yeah. Because also, I think like I don't know if you guys feel like this, but also when you're a performer, there's always that part of you that just like wants to like have a great set. So like, I'll hear like some of the other comics. Yeah, like one of my friends that I like brought into this. To this therapist, she was like, "Oh yeah, he's always laughing. He's always like, oh, you're so funny." And I'm like, "Wow, I don't think he's ever told me that." You know. And so then the next day I went in, I'm like, "I'm gonna get some laughs, at least like one every 3 minutes." Yeah. And then I start focusing on like just telling like some like funny tale rather than yeah.
You can test material with a therapist. You can test your material on him or her. Like, then you can really do it. Like I used to go in.
I don't think that's what he's for.
No,
I haven't taken it that far.
You really can. No, because I haven't gone like much, but like I like recently I tried it again and I was going in there really solemn kind of, and then he cracked a joke like at one time, and I was like, "So you guys cracking jokes in here?" Like I mean, get down to the business of the business, you know.
How comes the banana peel?
He's cracking a joke. So then after he cracked a joke, then like the next time I was in there, like I cracked it like a joke, and like he laughed, and then I was like, I wonder if I should, because when I go in there, I'm like, no, when I go in there, I'm really not like focused on like being like.
I think it depends on the type of material. I mean, you can't just peddle anything in there. He's going to see through it.
Right.
I mean, you can't be like, oh, Kim Kardashian, am I right? Yeah, what a skank. No, I mean, your therapist is going to be like, what? Yeah.
Throughout a conversation, especially if I'm like in a crowd or listening to someone like in a meeting, like every 30 seconds, like a joke comes into my head, like about what's going on. I want to like, I have to hold myself back from like yelling out like just a quip. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So when he's talking, a lot of times I'm I'm thinking of things that I say that are like funny, but I'm not going to say them because it has nothing to do with that. So
you're in there and you're like talking about your feelings, but you have this impulse to be like, Chinese people, not good drivers. Ah.
Yeah, I mean, not like that's not
Just
not that layered, but like
just racist hack humor.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, but not like I know that I could tell you the same two stories and make one humorous.
Right.
You know, and I like refrain from doing that, and I'm like very serious. And then sometimes he'll like drop a joke, and I'm like, shit, if we're gonna be dropping jokes, let me know because I could have everything I could have said could have been much more well rounded.
Right.
You know,
You could have shaded it a little. With
yeah. Anyway, it's not a bad idea. You go in there because he's supposed to be like unbiased. You just go in there like he doesn't know
supposed to be unbiased. I don't.
He doesn't gonna know when you're doing shtick, when you do material. Not if you're not talking about Asians and Kim Kardashian.
Right.
If I go in there and I'm in there talking about what relationships, my life, my job. That's all fodder.
Sure.
I mean that's it right there.
Right.
That's it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go next hour. I do 40. I'm gonna 45 minutes.
And then you make a one-woman show about the process and call it like From Therapy to Letterman. You do the math, huh? And they'll be like, yeah, Dave Letterman will be on one side of the poster, your therapist will be on the other, like.
I'm gonna secretly. I'm gonna turn on my fucking recorder on my phone. I'm gonna record the 45 minutes.
I just feel that if you think you need therapy and you're there for a reason, don't do that. Just
Well, I haven't. This is coming off this.
Don't let Rachel breeze in here and corrupt your healing, your mind.
Honestly, I've
process.
tried to stop doing that. I've tried to overcome that impulse to try to make him laugh. I'm like, what are you going to do?
No, you can't. But it's
How
funny.
greedy can I get? Like, you go around, do sets at night, and then you're just like...
Well, that's the thing. He's seen all those other comics.
Yeah.
So it's like, I wonder, I want to be the funniest person with problems. You know what I mean?
Our comics, because Sal is way more in tune with the comedy and stand-up comedy than I am. But through Impractical Jokers, I've been very lucky to make friends with a lot, and every one of them seems fucked up on some level. And I know that's not a new observation about stand-up comics at all. But are they all fucked up, on some level, or is it just?
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
That's such a broad. A lot of them are.
Yeah,
I think a lot of us are, but it's hard to say for sure because everybody's fucked up in some when you get kind of close to them. But a lot of us might be fucked up in a similar way, maybe or something.
Yeah, because you always hear that Jim Gaffigan's so normal.
Yeah,
right. Because he's got the wife, kids, he doesn't curse, and blah blah blah. And then you hear Jim Norton's out there doing whatever he's doing on stage and stuff like that. And all comics, comedians always seem to be the guys that hew more towards that sort of off kilter humor.
I do feel like a lot of the comics that I'm close with, there's some sort of cocktail there of a pain in the childhood, mixed with some sort of innate ability. But then again, you could say that about an accountant. You could be you could trace back some jarring moments he had between him and his father, and then he just went in and started, accounting.
right.
Accountants do, yeah.
Right,
and then he crunched number. He still has living with that same aching sadness that the rest of us live with at some level. Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, I feel like you could find that anywhere,
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that it's and just like the accountant, I'm not saying it's constant aching sadness. And then you have the highs and the fun stuff too. But yeah, I mean, I do think that comics in general so it's a bit of a bipolar life, comics and comedic performers, because the highs are so high, and you run around at night and you'll have these sets and people applaud and laugh, and then the next set they're just shut up. They're looking at this
and you
person.
need to get back to that other.
So I think that's a hard way to exist because you're and that, but it's also kind of awesome too because you have that, So I don't know. I don't know what I was intending to. I'm already annoying myself.
I don't even know what
right
I was
now.
asking with that. I was just going with it.
How often? What's your writing process? Is it just you just go up on stage when you have another idea and just add it into the mix of other stuff, or do you actually sit and never write stuff down, or how do you do it?
I try to. Sometimes I I try to a lot of stuff starts in a conversation or an uncomfortable thing or something humiliating or something that bothers me, and then I end up talking about it. Yeah. Can I tell the story? Okay. Yeah. Okay. So really? Okay. So when we first went out with Tommy, he had a belly button ring.
I know that.
Yeah. So I was just horrified. I did not sniff that out on him. I would not think that he'd been adorning himself like that. So yeah, it was the last thing I expected, and I was trying to cope with it, but also I was like, dear God, yeah.
What's that, the punk rock in you kind of thing? Glam? Where's that coming from?
This sounds worse.
Because you were
I used to work with and work out with a guy, and I thought it was and which now hearing myself say that.
Wait, hold on a second. Hold on a second.
I think we're picking him up, so I think we're okay.
You used to work out with a guy that had a belly button ring, and you thought it was cool, and then you emulated it.
Yes. And I hear myself now, and I know everything that's wrong with my
Did he know that you got it?
No. He didn't.
Oh, you just went and did it on your own.
Was it like a dangly one that said Tommy, or was it just a stud?
It said bad boy.
Actually,
Bad boy for life.
Actually, please.
But I was I would have rather seen a limb in a jar or something when I got to his house than a belly. I was oh God, no. Yeah.
Oh, so you just saw it. You didn't prep her.
No.
Right.
He thought it was acceptable. I was oh no, yeah.
So that you brought that right up on stage.
Yeah, there's stuff like that, or I feel a lot of stuff starts out by something that makes you uncomfortable or upset, and then ends up being a joke. So like a while ago, I was like on the road in Vegas, and it's like one of those really long weeks, and whatever, you know how it is, and then I sent him a text, and I meant to send it. I sent it to the wrong person with the same first name, and so it was like kind of like a dirty picture, but not that dirty, but dirty enough that it was humiliating, and it was like a slovenly one. Like I sent it like it was like a. Where you're just getting lazy, like the underwear was like a sloven's underwear, if that was a word, and there was like some change by my foot, like some debris, like a receipt, like in half a muffin or something, and I'm like, oh my God, I sent it to him.
On the TV in the background.
And I was freaking out. I'm like, oh my God, if I'm gonna leak one, it's not gonna be that. Like it's not gonna be that disgraceful.
What was your recoup text to the person?
I sent another one that was better. But at that moment, I cannot explain to you guys how horrified I was, especially because it was so disgusting. I was like, oh God, that underwear is like just real lazy, and like the muffin and everything, it was not good. And then I called my friend, comic Amy, and then she was like, I told her what happened, and she was like, I'll fix it. I'll send the same guy, because it was like another comedian that we knew. She's like, I'll send him a dirty pic too, if it makes you feel better. So he's just going to get them throughout the day.
Meaning, let's play this joke on him.
Yeah.
So he's just thinking like you guys did it on purpose?
Or maybe, I think he knew, because like I'm not going to just be like, I'm sending you me and my panties ironically. Right. He knew, but she's like, it'll like make it into something funny and normalize it. Yeah. Right. So she sent him a picture of herself in these green sweatpants, just her crotch with her hand just like gently resting next to it. Like it couldn't have been more asexual, So we just started laughing about it. But like I went from being on the floor just like in utter horror, And then she was like, you have to talk about this on stage. Then I'm now starting to try to tell the story. But I do feel like a lot of stuff like that, it starts out as something that's just so embarrassing or horrifying or jarring. And often that is like the best material. And I can't remember what it was like with that, like before this, where I didn't have like that bin to put everything in. I'm like, oh great, I'll put it in the like stand-up bin, And I'm like, I feel so lucky that I have that place, because otherwise that's it. It's just this,
And is that something that's just second nature now? It's like you're picking stuff off every single day, or it's like, do you ever have to regiment yourself? Like I actually need to sit and think of these things, or are you just on a like? If it comes to my head, it comes to my head kind of thing.
No, I try to be more regimented than I am. I could always be more regimented. I don't have like very good systems. I'm not organized. Right. I don't tape myself enough. I've gotten better about taping, and listening to sets and stuff like that. But it's hard to listen to yourself. I don't know if you guys feel like that. But yeah, like...
It's horrible.
Like whenever I listen to myself, I'm just like, shut up. What did you ever need to say to anyone with your sassy opinions? I
actively forget what I look and sound like until I turn on a Practical Jokers, and then I'm just like, oh, fuck. That's who I am to the world.
What is that? Why is that like that whenever you hear your voice, like from when you were like growing up and hearing it on an answering machine, why does it always sound so like immediately horrifying?
It does.
One's own voice.
Right.
I wish it was just, I've known for a long time that my voice is god-awful. I say it sounds like Joe Pesci and Frankenstein fucked and had a child in New York City. Like that's what I sound like. But I always operated under the basic assumption that I was attractive enough. And then when I watch the show, I'm like, oh, I'm not. Like, oh, God.
No, that's just how you see yourself.
No, it's not. Because then when we meet people in person, they're like, oh, you're a lot less fat than you are on television. And I'm like, yeah. I guess I am. Thank you. I hate it. It's unbearable.
You can never listen or watch a taped performance and it be anywhere near as good as when you're on stage. It's just a lose-lose. So like when you go to listen to it again, there's something's missing. You know what I mean? It's just like, oh, that wasn't as good as I thought it was. Or
yeah, but maybe there's something that I'm imagining that you know what to listen for when you're listening to. Are you just listening to the tape to hear what got a laugh, or is it? So
like I'll try to do something new, and then I'm like, oh, I said that thing,
And just remember what you said.
And then what is it? What was the way I worded it this time? And then I go back and listen, because a lot of times you just find something in the way you said it, and then it's just gone,
right.
Yeah. And then so the more you can tape, I feel like the more I tape myself, the better, and then I can. And again, like I said, when I listen to myself, the first impulse is always just like, oh, I just want to put like a soft cloth over my face and just be like, that was there now, and just like put myself down. It's so funny because when I was a kid, there was this movie on about like the mafia. Like it was one of those like cheesy films like on A&E or something, you know? And it was like some people are in the mafia and I didn't know what that was. And it was just like up late watching some weird shit I shouldn't, you know? And then I remember there was like a man and he was like, and these men, they have to kill their wives if the wives talk too much, if they yap too much or whatever. Yeah, so the plot of the thing, I'm going somewhere with this. So the plot of the thing was like that the woman just kept yapping and it was time for her to die, you know? And that the mafia man loved her very much, but it was time for her to die.
She's not even talking to the feds. She's just talking too much.
She's just chatting.
Just chatting.
That's perfect. Yeah. She's like, so I went shopping around 2. I think it was like around 3. You know, I decided I think we should have pasta tonight again. It's like I can no longer take it. You've offered nothing in conversation for 15 years. You worthless bit. No, it was like I think she was like she knew too much or something. I don't even know if she'd yapped yet. She knew. She saw a few things she shouldn't, and it was dying time.
That's proactive.
But you have a few things you see when you're a kid and like they stay with you forever for some reason. Like she was wearing like some long like wispy robe and he like led her out to some gazebo area and he had a cloth in his hand and he was just like, all right, Lorraine, like don't you love this night? And she was
look
like,
at the view. Just look at the view, Lorraine.
It started out real romantic. What a scumbag.
I wish I knew what movie this was.
She's like, it is gorgeous out there. You're right as shit. And then he was like, and then he had some kind of like a handkerchief in his hand and he just put it over her face and he was like, shh. Die. That's a really long route for me to say that I've never like lost that picture in my mind, and that's what I want to do to myself. I want to like Lorraine myself when I watch myself on stage.
Take yourself out to a gazebo.
Yeah, and be like, "What did you want to say? You had some opinions, did you? Some real cutting edge opinions? Oh, New York City girl, some things you need to tell the world." Shh. Shush, Lorraine.
Go to sleep.
Have you yet, because you said that Jeff Ross sort of extended that hand to you. Now you've been doing this 13 years. Have you turned around yet to anybody else and been like, come on, kid, I'm gonna get you in that club? Or are you like, fuck paying it forward?
No, every weekend, whenever I go someplace, I'm always like, let everybody do a guest spot or whatever. And that's not really so beautiful of me. It's easy to do. It's funny the way people wouldn't do things that were so easy before, you know?
Right.
You're headlining someplace and these kids are like waiting in the green room for like hours or like outside and just want to say something. And it's like, so I always ask like whoever the booker is, like, can you let this person have 5 minutes and do them? Yeah. What's the worst that's going to happen? They won't get laughs. Who cares?
Right,
yeah.
right.
So the things I can do at this point, not being like a celebrity or whatever, are pretty easy to do.
Right.
You just be like, I just feel like I'd just be a bad person if I went around like, no, like who cares? I'm going to be in this weird city. Like, let somebody go up and do a few guest spots every weekend. So any little thing like that, I try to do and everywhere because people, did that for me and it wasn't that hard. Yeah.
How often are you getting up a week on the average?
I guess like maybe 5-6 times maybe. I don't know. It depends. Well, like this weekend I'm on the road, so I have 2 shows Friday, 2 shows Saturday, and then I was up yesterday. And I guess I was up Sunday and Monday this week. I was hosting at the Cellar. So this week was like a lot. But I'm not one of those comics that like is like, you've got to do like 60 sets a week. I'm like, what? I would kill myself. That sounds awful. Right. Some comics will be like, like if you don't do 80, you should just hate yourself. And I'm just like, that sounds like a really an irrational amount of stage time. Plus, like, I just feel like at the end of that, I'd probably just feel tired, and I wouldn't want to like think about what I did much. Yeah.
Sure, you can process it a little bit.
And I think that works for some people. I'm always impressed. Yeah, I need a day to just like lay around and watch like 6 SVUs back to back. Yeah.
I just watched the whole of Sopranos. I get it. You have something on your eyebrow. I don't know what to tell you about it. It's still there. It's gone.
It's gone.
How long was that then?
Well, I was focusing on the batteries issue, but I just
I think it's radio. I mean, you guys talking to me with a thing on my eyebrow?
Now it's on your shirt. Hold on.
Yeah.
Okay, it's gone.
Right.
Is it this fuzz right here?
See, I told you.
Let me think. How often are you hanging out and watching other people's sets, or are you just in and out because you gotta?
I love to watch other people. It's fun. Yeah.
Okay. No, I know.
The other night I watched Judy Gold. I don't know if you guys have seen her. Yeah. She's so funny. But she has this thing where she plays her mom's voicemail message at the very end of her set. and it like her mom leaves her these messages, and it's so hilarious. And I'm sorry for retelling Judy's story poorly, but it made me laugh so much. She was at the end of her set, and she just played her mom's voicemail, and it was just her mom's like 92 or whatever, and her message was just, "I have nothing left, Judith, nothing. If you come over, bring a hunk of cheese." And that was it. And I was just dying. I couldn't stop thinking about it. I mean, how can you not be... I was like, how can you be like in a bad mood and then hear that and not be
Right.
The rest of the night I was like happy after I heard her say that.
Cheese.
But yeah, I like to go down and like watch and stuff. And like, I think... it's helpful to do that.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Yeah.
It's fun. Yeah.
Right. I agree. I like that.
Yeah, you're always going out to shows and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not. I'd like to go to more, but I used to love the Comedy Cellar. We used to go all the time.
We were there all the time.
All the time. We used
Like I used to go like in college
Yeah.
when I just started doing like improv and stuff, not stand up though. But I used to go like 2-3 times a night, a week, just to.
I used to go. It was weird. Like I used to just like I would find out whenever Colin Quinn was hosting, and go to watch him host. And because I love Colin Quinn. I think he's great. He's like
Me too.
Like, he is
so funny.
One of my favorites. And so I used to go watch him. And like Chappelle used to come in. Like
Colin MC'd?
Yeah, he was the MC.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For the second show.
In 94 is when I started going, and Wanda Sykes was a lot of the
I saw her there a lot.
Keith was an MC.
Yeah. Keith Robinson's really funny comic. Yeah.
And it was Gaffigan was like on the late, like at the end.
Yeah.
He was just starting out.
And I don't know what happened. I just fell out of it. Like I guess you just get busy as you get older. But I'd like to get back in there. And every time I go down to the Comedy Cellar, the line is like you used to be able to just be like, well, fuck it, let's go to the 11:30 show on a Wednesday night. Now you can't. Like every time I go, there's that line to the block and down the block, and I'm like, well, I can't.
They used to do this thing.
Just let me know when you guys want to come. During the week, it's easy.
Do they do?
At least not to be in that line, but they'll let
But they always have. They have like shows now, like 9, 11. Like they used to do it like 9 o'clock starts comedy, and there's comedy till we close.
Yeah.
Like they never had on the weekdays. They never had like a 9 o'clock show, 5 comics, and 11.
I always kind of remember 9 and 11, and the 11 would go until 4 in the morning.
Unless I just stayed, I don't know.
I think
that you're right. It used to be that, but now it starts at like 7, 9, and they keep switching out the crowds because they're getting so much business, and now they're also doing shows around the corner.
Yeah.
On the weekend.
That's
at
right.
The Village
They took over
Underground.
Cafe Wa, right? Like and did that. Yeah.
So
But it's become like a. I mean, is that the most popular comedy club, or is Caroline's or?
No, Caroline's is a headline place though, only, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, no. On the weekends, Thursday through Sunday, they do that a feature headliner style, but during the week they have regular showcase shows. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, do you just go to the same? Are you trying to get up everywhere?
Yeah, I try to go on wherever. All
what.
over. Yeah, and it's good when you're trying to fix like something or work something out to
just
go
get up wherever you can.
Yeah.
If it was up to you, you'd be on the road as much as possible, or you temper that. You want to be
very
This
little.
is the road where you're making money, really.
Yes.
Here and here.
Yes.
Well, I'm saying like at your local, at the local clubs.
My voice.
At the local clubs, it's just like a. That's not where you're making your rent or anything like that.
No.
Right.
No, but like I like it a little bit. Like a little is good, but like when you're just out every week and just like unpack, repack, like it sucks. Yeah. I don't want to do that where I'm just constantly gone and yeah.
Because do you take an opener with you or no? You do local openers
sometimes, but more often like I just
travel along.
Yeah.
See, we get the benefit of traveling with each other.
You're hanging out with your friends. Yeah.
Also, I was thinking that too when she was talking about recording and trying to remember things that you got right. Sometimes we'll walk right off stage and I'll go right up to him and be like, the change you made on that joke, which is sometimes just a word, made it funnier. Or he'll come up to me and be like, the delivery on that was better than you did it for the past 4 months. So like we almost like really tape each other, you know what I mean? We try and help Murray as much as we can.
Yeah. But we
That's
tape
awesome.
shows.
Tommy will do that for me. I'll be like,
that's
you
a
said it
huge
this way.
help.
Yeah. And he's always taping my sets, and when I get off, he's like, this word. Like, and I'm like, oh, yeah.
That's better for me because we tape shows. We tape them all. We give them to the guy. We tape them, and I never ever
once
listen
to anyone.
Yeah, it's hard, but it is helpful when somebody's with you for sure. That's that. Yeah.
Tommy, do you want to
Tell me you want to follow
come
us
to our shows?
Go ahead and do
I
it.
need more Kendall time.
You need more FaceTime with us? I'll tell you what. For every 10 minutes of things that you take notes on, I'll answer a question that you need answered.
I always get the feeling
I'll answer an email that you sent 6 months ago.
I get the feeling with Tommy because Tommy was brought in originally at the end of season 2,
just after the start of 3.
right? Okay, as like at the time it was like we need a replacement. Let's get someone in here, and then if he works out, if he doesn't work out, we'll get someone else. So he was like almost like a Band-Aid. and then, did you know this? You didn't know this?
I sensed it.
Yeah.
So like day 1 when you said no, it's too early to mention his name on the show.
Right, there we go.
Well, that's the same with anyone who gets
Sure,
hired.
of course, but specifically
in any position.
we were like, all right, well, we'll see what happened. And then like he turned out to be Tommy. So every time they would check, like those checks originally came like once every week. They're like, well, how's Tommy working out? It's fine. Then that would be like every 2 weeks. How's Tommy working out? It's great. And now it's just that was a year ago at this point, right?
No.
December, January.
Yeah, it's coming up. Yeah, so now he's just a part of the team and stuff like that. But it's funny because sometimes I'm like, did anybody ever tell Tommy that he's got the position?
I remember Joe. We were out someplace, and Joe said to Tommy, said something like about Tommy, and he was like, "Oh, he's great at his job." And I was like, "You please like frame that, email it to him, something." Then at no hour of the night will he have to wake up and be like, "Oh my God, this." Yeah. And so Joe did. He emailed them, Tommy Cody is great at his job, and it's up at his office right now. Yeah. But
We were talking yesterday about how like you just hear him like on the phone, like just pulling his hair out, being like, "I need a goat in time for Tuesday."
Yeah, because he'll come on the road on the weekend and he'll be like just like pacing in a parking lot, like just like arguing with like Marsha and legal. And I'll be like,
She knows the names.
it's a good idea, Marsha. It's a good idea to let Sal walk into a car. We need to lock him into the trunk of a car. Why? Because it's a healthy idea. But he's always like pacing whatever, or then I'll just see him looking at his phone, being like, "No, I sent that on September 6th. No, I need you to answer the email from September 20th. No, shit, no. Do you understand?" Or he'll say to himself, "Do you understand how bad this is? What that sets into motion, if he thinks that the September 6th was the final place that we left this episode." Yeah. So
It's pretty ridiculous, right? I know.
How much we ignore, but you know
and
what?
I'm always telling him, I'm like, I think it's about boldface. I'm like, he's like, you think I haven't thought of boldface before? I'm like, you
don't want us all weighing in. I fucked over our manager yesterday because I do the same, like how I'll answer like 1 in every 5 emails. It's like I do that to everybody, and it's not something to be proud of. I just do.
I probably answer less.
Sure. So like, so yesterday, our manager started emailing us, and like I started answering every email. Mm-hmm. And finally he calls me up. Rovner called me up and he's like, what's going on in your house today? And I was like, why? He's like, he goes, "You're all over me like a cheap suit. Why are you busting my balls?" And I go, "Jack, I'm answering emails." I was like, that's the difference. I was like, now you'll be happy when you send me an email and I don't fucking answer it. And you just assume that whatever you want is how it's going to go and everybody's life is a little bit happier.
You know what I'm good for? We'll get because between everyone here needs answers, right? Everyone that you pass in the hall into this room needs 10 answers each. Yeah. So what am I going to do? The only thing I can do, turn off. Shut off. I have to shut down. I can't answer 200 things a day. So I just shut down, and then the things that need to get to my ears, get to them. Like you stand in front of me and go, I need you to answer this right now. So I do that. But then sometimes I'll be like, I'll get service, T-Mobile, and then a thing will come through, and I'll be like, oh, all right, here's 600 emails. So I'll just go like that. I'll stop on one and I'll answer it, right? And it's an important one that everyone weighed in on 2 weeks ago. And they asked speak now for hold your peace. But I don't see that chain. And so they move forward with something, and then I'll answer it 2 weeks later. And I'll go, not hot on it. And then it's like, oh my God.
That ruins my weekend in Vegas. Then I'm in Vegas, he's pacing backstage at some show, and then I'm hearing him go, "What do you mean, you approve that? You said yes, I can see it. But I can't send him back his own email because that's obnoxious, but no, oh my God." Yeah. And then it's 3 more hours of just oh God, no. Wait, you mean no? You mean or dumb idea? I argued with the network for that. Oh God, yeah. And then
but that is the job. To be fair.
To be fair, my predecessor, very talented, very well-liked guy, Aaron Lederman.
Right.
I reached out to him on occasion my first few months, and he said, "Tommy, your job is easy. this stuff that you're talking to me about, that's how you make your money. It's the heads.
Right.
Sleepless nights and the lost hair. Like,
Right.
okay,
Yeah.
got it.
Right.
Got it.
But I'm pretty good with you. I mean, I'm not really that. I am pretty good. Wait, hold on a second. I'm okay, right? I mean, I might not be the best at answering stuff, but I've always like. We're on the. We're here.
No, we're good.
Yeah.
No.
We're good.
He has to say he could.
No, but we are though. I know we are because I talk to you like this. I'm not. I'm never like one to like.
No, he loves you guys.
No.
It's when the job. I don't know if I can say this, but the job he was at before he hated, and then he got to this job, and he was just like, "Yes, this is what I should have done."
Right.
And again, you could tell me what we have to cut out of this, but before that, it was like this, or it was like between this job, and then there was this other like it was like some
Okay,
sort of,
yeah, this is a good one.
Okay.
Because I just talked to that guy last night on the phone. He's like, boy, did you make the right choice.
It was a show
really?
called America Fuck Yeah. Right?
No.
But and it was not ironic. It was like for the and he was like pacing back and forth because this was like definitely like the most creative, funny job he wanted. But he was always like, but he didn't know how much security he would have. And then the other one, he was like, I guess with America, fuck yeah, I might have a little more security day to day. And I was just like, so it was just like this battle because he's just like, but then he's like, but then I'm gonna have to say America, fuck yeah, and I'm gonna have to like write things for people to be like, it's this show that's basically like America, a great place.
We got guns, we got bikinis and beer.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and then so yeah, but so it was just like night and day, and then he came here, and so yeah. No, it's only just soft mumbling. It's not like fuck that. Yeah, he's really happy he's here. It's just like what? No, that email's like it's just like little things like that. Like I'll just hear him mumbling and emailing backstage or something. Yeah, and I'll be like, turn it off for 3 hours. It'll get sorted out because I see that it always does.
Yeah.
I see that no matter what the thing is, in 3 days it's like, oh, we went to the shoot and this happened.
Right.
Yeah. So it's just like It's
But I think you and I have a shorthand. I think
We do.
I mean, look, some people in the on the staff here, or like some people involved with Impractical Jokers,
Those among us.
there might be a couple of insufferable people. I don't know. Like I'm not in your body. I don't like walk in your shoes every day and have your experiences. But law of averages. I'm sure like there's some people.
Rachel, did you do the ice bucket challenge? Just a quick question.
no.
No, okay, just unrelated, but unrelated. Okay, all right. But if you were going to do one, how long would you make the video? Do you think?
I don't know, 2 minutes or something.
Okay, all right. Even that's a little long, but all right.
Okay.
No,
All right. All right, just asking, unrelated to what Sal was saying about insufferable people.
no, we can.
No, we do have a shorthand. So much of it, Rachel will be the first one to say this, so much of it is me already. Just the neuroses that I brought.
I will tell you that you have a little bit of that. Like if it's a pie chart,
Yes.
if it's a pie chart, like I think about like 25 to 45% of it's already you.
Yeah.
Like just from hanging out with you.
Oh yeah,
Like yesterday
he
we went out to
worries.
eat.
He worries. He's a worrier, so he worries about everything.
Everything though.
Yeah, everything. But which is good because you want somebody worrying about everything. But
Sure.
he needs to know that 20% of it'll all shake out
But
fine.
it's good because
But
you
he's
care.
learned that much better. I mean, the first few months when like it was like every day it was like, da, 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 and now it's just like it's just those soft mumblings like. And then like, oh, I gotta argue with Simi about that. Ah, shit. Yeah. And then so I'll be like, yeah, pacing conversation with Simi, blah, blah, blah. Then cut to like the next day. And then I'll be like, oh my God, Sal said this thing or Q something or other. Or,
Right.
So then it's like, yeah. So it's just.
Yeah, I mean, I feel that way inside. I think the key is though to not like in front of certain people not show that because then it might look like you're like people don't want to feel that like through like people don't want to feel frantic.
Oh yeah.
But I know what you do because I do it myself.
I do that so that I can keep you guys calm. I try to keep.
Right, maybe you do it out there and then you come in here and be like, here's the deal. But yesterday we went out to dinner, and then we were gonna go to your show and like the whole time he's like, all right, he's just like, it's like you're Woody Allen almost, you know what I mean? It's like, oh my God, we got to be there for 8, so I'd say if we back it up, as long as we get the check here and there, we go, and then we'll walk in there and he's like, maybe we should get in a cab, maybe we should cut this way, and then you call yourself out, you're like, oh, I don't know why I'm doing this to myself. Why am I doing this? Like, we're going to walk over there, everything's going to be fine, we're going to get there on time, and then we get there, we're like, 8 minutes late, and the bouncer's like, you got to wait for the hostess to come up. And he's like, well, all right, well, the show started. Like, can we just go? He's like, you got to wait for the hostess to come up. So then we're waiting there like 3 minutes, which is a long time to wait for a hostess when you're just waiting on a line that no one else is on, and the bouncer just staring at you, and you know and he's like, okay, well, we're on the list. We're on the list. And he's like, you have to wait for the thing. And then we wait like another minute. He's like, do you know when the hostess is coming up? Because the show is clearly, and he's like,
how long do you suppose the hostess will be doing whatever it is she's doing? I tried to couch it in front of you. You saw right through that.
And then she was insisting she would find us a seat. She's like, there's no seat, so just wait here and I'll go get you a seat. He's like, no, we'll just stand in the back. But you had this very intense,
Oh my God, yeah, you should see him in an airport. Yeah. But I'm so the opposite, but that's why it's always like, because I'm just like, whatever. He's like, we're in zone 1. I'm like, who cares? Zone is such a foolish idea.
You're the guy that gets up before everybody else, right?
And then,
I know, but I'm the guy, like, when they're boarding, and Rich is like, I need a bottle of water in the bathroom. No, like, our zone.
Oh, yeah, I don't like that.
Yeah. I'm always like boarding. Who cares? It seems like a foolish idea to me. There needs to be these zones, and we've got to go with our zone. Who cares?
I want my thing in the overhead before anybody else.
Yeah, he's like that. He's always like, this has got to happen, and then that, and then like... Yeah, so some of it is just like I don't like worry that I don't have that much anxiety, but also I see that like I also like lose my passport once a year or twice a year, like so that I also do things that are just completely unless there was somebody else tracking. I just leave things places like presents everywhere I go, and I just leave like offerings around the city, and
do you when I had meant this is one of the things I wanted to ask you. When I did the pregnancy punishment where you guys put the electrodes on me, Rachel was there.
I don't know.
No, I'm telling you, she was.
Okay.
I was.
And then, did we have a conversation afterwards? Because that day I left, and my brain was so fried by what you guys did to me. Like, because it doesn't hurt so much. It sends electricity shooting through your body, and I couldn't think straight. And then about 2 hours later, I felt like I was high. Like, it was a real weird 24 hours after you guys did that.
You sure you didn't just get high?
No, it wasn't that. And I kind of like later on that night, it was like, I think I had a conversation with Rachel, but I don't recall if I did or not.
Yeah, we talked. You phoned it in perfectly. Yeah.
I
think that was the first time we met. Yeah.
I think it was because I couldn't.
That was the first time we met, and that was such a fun one to come to because I heard all the conversations because I'm lying in bed hearing whatever, or like in the middle of the day at some hotel. I heard all the conversations, like, and we were going to attach this machine, and I heard somebody else being like, "No, you will not do such a thing." And then finally, again, it happened. It was so much fun, right? So, but I met you there, and then
because I remember being all right. Look, I know you're a comedian, you're Tommy's girlfriend. You're very important. Some people come to set and we're like, "Hey, what's up?" Other people, it's like, "Oh, you're a VIP of," you know what I mean? So, but I remember being like, my mind is fried, but I don't want Tommy to think that I'm blowing off. Right? So I was like, I think I made the effort to talk to it.
No, you did, yeah.
We had a good conversation, but I couldn't remember
You told me how traumatizing it was, basically. You were hooked up to some sort of equipment. Well, you were like, You said it was painful for a period, and then it wasn't, but it was just like that. But it generally, you were just telling me the stages of horror that they just put you through, basically.
I'm glad I'd say that completely like stupid. All right, good.
Yeah, you were very relaxed. I was like, oh, that guy's so easy to talk to. Probably because you were completely unaware of what you were. But
fried.
you just went through each stage of what you'd been through. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm sorry about that.
But
I apologize. I hope this went better. Well, let's because we're over an hour.
Okay.
Are we?
That's not even counting the half hour that we left.
I wonder we'll never.
We'll never see it again, buddy. I thought everything was covered great. I had a lot of fun. Right, you are on Twitter.
Yeah.
What's that?
At Rachel Feinstein.
Are you good at it, or is that something that you're like, fuck this?
I tweet more like my shows, but I should tweet a lot of videos because I'm making all these little like videos and stuff. Like so, I'll tweet links to stuff and like funny things that I made. Yeah.
If we can get you to a certain amount of followers, will you post the photo that you sent to the guy by accident with the muffin and the change by the foot? How many followers do you need to get to that photo?
God, so many. so many.
I mean, we know the story. It's diffused already.
I could post an equally humiliating photo.
We want the photo.
You want that one?
Yeah. I mean, if it's floating around.
I'll think about it. Oh my God, that was traumatizing.
Do you still have it? It's like 3 phones ago, probably.
He still has it.
I never got it.
I mean, he claimed that he deleted it, which is no way.
That's
right?
not
There's
true.
no
That's
fucking
not
way
true.
in a billion years he's ever
Just
done that.
as a pretty decent guy, I'm telling you that's not true.
You're right. Yeah, he's got
If
it.
I
and he's
stumbled
got
on
it backed
Polaroids
up.
from my grandparents' fucking from my grandparents' 50th reunion Bang Fest, and I was just going through a box and I found them, I'd have to look at every single one of those and probably
I would not do that.
yeah. You don't want to see my grandparents bang?
Nah.
You're fucking weird, dude.
No.
You're
I was
suspect.
trying to think before. I don't know if it was this podcast or the lost one that will never have to return into
Yeah,
the
yeah.
ether. When you were watching people have sex,
Yeah, my neighbors.
was that in the first one or
That was the
second
first one.
So you walked into your neighbor. I was trying to think of if I ever caught or walked in on anyone having sex, but I don't think I did because that would be at the forefront of my mind, right?
Yeah, that would come right up.
I mean, it's been a long life. It's been like an arduous life.
It's not long. You're still young.
I might have forgot, but as long as it's not like that horrific. Like you hear horrific, like people say they walk in on their parents and stuff.
No.
Oh yeah, and I didn't do that. No, I've walked in on people. I've had somebody walk in.
Well, you lived with fucking Dick's
Dick's
sister. I
sister.
assume that you walked in and people screwed
Exactly.
all the time.
Yeah.
I looked up Dick's sister, by the way. There's no trace of them online.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah, which that's not saying I don't believe you. It's just I guess just Dick's sister just never made it even to like the internet age.
No. They had a T-shirt and everything. It was like a chick with a dick, like in her, like she was opening her leg and like displaying it, like here you are.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm
So
opening
maybe
the-
you meant it in a different way. Because we found out that that's a term for two guys.
They had a few bands after that. They had like 3 different incarnations of Dick's sister. I think some of the later bands might have made it, so you could track down the members. But it happened. You could find old
I
flyers.
believe you.
Yeah.
Well, how far do you think you can go? Aren't you limiting yourself? Are you putting a ceiling on how far you can
think
go
you're really-
with the name Dick Sister?
You're putting a flag out there for the type of audience that you want.
Yeah.
You're going for a section.
Oh, after Dick's sister was Murderizer. That was the next
Murderizer.
name. Yeah.
A little less inventive if I'm
Yeah.
I'm not as happy with Murderizer.
Yeah.
All right. Is there anything going on? We got your Twitter. Is there any shows?
Well, my
Any-
special is if it's on Comedy Central on demand. Comedy Central presents Rachel Feinstein, or the other one, the Half Hour. That's what they're calling their newer special. So both of those specials are available. And on Netflix, I have a special with it's called Women Who Kill, and which is what we call having a good set and stand up. You guys know that, but some people think it's a special about like women who freshly murdered their husbands or something.
Right.
But it's called Women Who Kill. It was a Showtime special, but it's now on Netflix, and it's me, Amy Schumer, Nikki Glazer, and Marina Franklin.
Okay.
And so that was a really fun special. If you guys want to look at that, my website is rachel-feinstein.com, and that has all my like tour dates and everything on it too. Yeah.
Cool.
Do you know, little trivia for you, I don't even know if you know this, but we reached out to you to submit to be a writer on the show. Did you know that?
Yeah, it came to me in a confusing way, but yeah.
Yeah, I was given your email address to reach out to you, and then the person who gave me your email address gave me it was the incorrect email address, and I later found out that like you never even got it.
Yes, yeah, exactly. So what happened was Amy told me she met one of you guys on a plane, right?
us, all four of
With
us.
all of you guys.
We ran into her on a plane. We already knew her.
Yeah, and she was like, "Oh, I should show them what you do," because I was doing some of these like hidden camera, like cock blocking stuff and things like that.
Oh,
yeah,
with Giannis? Is that-
with Giannis Pappas,
Yeah.
And so she was like, I'm going to send them some of your links and whatever. And she turned me on to the show and everything. And then I got this message from my manager, and he was like, apparently you blew off the Practical Joke. And I was like, what? No, I never heard after that. I just assumed they never watched the links. And then he said he tried to contact you. And I'm like, what thing? Like, because through my website, it goes to my manager. Yeah.
Right,
so it doesn't go to me. Or my agency, rather. So they probably just thought it was some random.
Just so you know, I didn't want you to.
No, that was really nice. And then I ended up testing for this other True show at the time that I got that's no longer on the air with Shaq. So by the time
that's right.
upload, yeah.
about that.
So,
You got to come back on. Like,
we'll do it at a different time. So then by that point, I was doing the Shaq show.
I love your impression.
So by
of
the
Shaq,
time I
too.
got it, I was like, well, I couldn't write right now anyways because I'm going out to do my Shaq thing.
Do you have Shaq's number in your phone?
Yeah.
We talked about this. We told you about. Did we
Well,
tell
we
you about?
did the Shaq. 'Cause we have Shaq's number in our phone, so we just text him like weird things sometimes. He's never gotten back to us.
We texted him.
He changes his phone every month. I guarantee you he doesn't still get it. Yeah.
Well, no, he still had it like a year later that time we saw him on Good Morning America.
That's right.
Right?
Yeah, you're right.
Or like 6 months. But we randomly, like the other day, we were on the podcast. We were playing a game where we would like just scroll and we'd pick, say stop and have to text.
Yeah.
And he got Shaq and we just texted him, hey.
Smiley face. Shockingly, he didn't answer.
Just that one word. Like 9 E's. Hey, and his tongue sticking out.
Would you be willing to text him that right now? Or is that,
Sure, yeah. I don't even know if it's still the same number.
well,
You
I'm him and his sidekick that handles everything for him. So
I love that when you do Shaq's voice. Can you do a little of that? Do you have that?
Here's a funny Shaq story. I was just walking through the airport like 2 weeks ago. I hadn't seen him in a while or whatever. And I'm just walking through. You know when you feel you have like plain face and you just don't want to be seen by a single person in the world? Yes, I was walking through and I just heard this voice go, "Your booty got bigger." Like, damn, your booty got bigger. And I'm like, ugh, what? Who? And I turned around, I'm like, Shaq. And he goes, it definitely got bigger.
Was he just behind you at like?
Yeah, he was just walking behind me. I can't even remember what city I was in now. I called you because I was just transferring. I was on the road, whatever. And then he's like, right away, because Shaq is like a child and he just wants to have fun all the time. So he's in the middle of the airport. I hadn't seen it before. I was like, Shaq, how are you? And he goes, we hadn't discussed like anything about the show or whatever. And he goes, let's make a video where I'm ignoring you in the airport. And you're like, Shaq's a bitch. He's changed. He goes, first
Shaq doesn't get enough attention.
Yeah. He goes, first act of the video, I noticed that your booty got bigger. Second part of the video, you're like, Shaq's changed. Look how he's ignoring me. Like, and then you kicked me in the ass, right? So that was he had it all blocked out in his mind. Upon seeing me.
You can't say no to that, right?
Of course I did it immediately. A video like this should be.
You're like, oh, great idea, Shaq. Great idea.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes. So I made it immediately. I might even have it. I'll try to find it.
Oh, God, please.
Because I just got a new phone a week ago. But I'll look if I can find it. I'll email it to you guys.
Wait,
but,
the iPhone 6 just came out, and you're settling for
no,
the
it's because
5?
my phone broke.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, which was so funny. So I was trying to do it with my phone, but my phone was breaking. And Shaq's like, I got no patience for this, Rich. We got to do it right. And so this guy that goes everywhere with him, like his assistant or whatever, this like character, it's a Cuban guy named Alex. I just called him Poppy all the time. That was our nickname for him. So he's like, Poppy can do it, because he remembered that I called him Poppy. He's like, Poppy, you tape it then. Rachel doesn't know how to use a phone. So then Poppy taped it and like texted it to me later. But and it was just like a mess, because in the middle of me trying to do it, Shaq just got swarmed. And it looked like I was another fan swarming him, because everybody had their cameras up and I had mine. But I'm like, I have specific directions from Shaq. He wanted to notice that my booty got bigger on camera. This has been organized, you guys. But yeah, then it just got like insane. But the fun thing about Shaq is he just talks to everybody, everywhere. Anyone that has anything to say to him, he just immediately turns around.
Every time we go to the airport, we're like, what? I mean, because we're on the Practical Jokers, we should be waiting online with everybody else, but we're always just like, but like, what the fuck does George Clooney and Shaq do? And now we have our answer. They just
hang out at the airport.
He just weathers that storm.
Huh?
Like, how does he walk through? He doesn't have a.
There's no special lounge for Shaq.
They went off and they sort of like hid in this little gate, like near a gate. He's like, we got to go away. It's getting hectic. But he'll talk to everybody and then he'll just go take a rest somewhere. But they might have had like a room they were going to or something. I don't really know like how a lot of people do it. But like, I think Shaq, like, he just has this trick in his eyes all the time. Like, he's ready to have fun and be foolish. So he seems to like it. Like, everywhere we would go, people would just stop him with the most preposterous questions. Like, I remember one time we were eating at a restaurant, and this girl comes up and she's like, I'm a nurse. Will you make a video saying that I'm an amazing nurse? Like, what? Like, no. You're in the middle of the meal. And Shaq's like, absolutely, let's do it. He was like, he's in a restaurant in the middle of his meal. And then he's like, give me your phone.
He stops the girl walking by and he's like, we should make a video where I say you're the greatest nurse. He's like volunteering it.
Because that's what he likes to do. He likes to make like silly videos all the time. Like I taught him how to do the duck pose one day and he's like, let's make a video of this. It's on Instagram if anyone wants to check it out. Me teaching Shaq how to do the duck pose. But we're listening to Too Short and I'm teaching him. I'm like, both hands against the wall. Your ass needs to be out or whatever. But he just likes to be ridiculous at all times. So then the girl gave him his phone. He's just like,
Dana's the best nurse in the world. Go to Dana for all your nursing needs. Hey, listen to me. I'm Shaq. Don't be a bitch. She's a great nurse.
My favorite part of the impression is how your eyes take on like a different. Your eyes zone out like when you do Shaq.
You try to get the lead.
Yeah, like you just like you look like one of my cats when they hear a noise in the middle of the night. They're just like, all right, let's not do this. Let's do it.
I can picture him though being able to Shaq just being able to go like, nah, not right now, man. You know, like and everyone just be like, oh,
Right, Shaq.
cool, and Shaq, love you, Shaq. You know, like I feel like he could say anything he wants. Like,
Is he Shaq?
I don't feel like it right now, man. I'm sorry. And then like everyone is just like, he's so the way he delivers
Everybody is
it.
forced to accept it because it's Shaq. The
Exactly.
showrunner on
No
our
one's
show,
like, "You're a
like
dick."
when Shaq didn't want to do something, he'd
He'd be like, I'm not doing that, Greg. And then he'd be like, is that corny or something like that? He's like, I don't want to do that.
And then if Greg continued to say, Shaq, please, he would just pick him up in the air, just like hold him like an infant and just like hold him until the guy stopped asking. So that was like the way that he dealt with that. Like, I don't want to do that right now. And this guy, like nice guy, just had to be used to that. It's like, that's my life. Like, I'm like a man I tell people to do things. People respect me. And then I'm being held like an infant by Shaq for 10 seconds until I stop talking. And then I'm allowed to go down again like a baby. He's like, can I go down? Yeah. But and then he loved him because it's Shaq. It's like, what are you going to say?
He's
You know?
too old, man.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm picking you up, Greg. It's going to happen.
All right, so we got the Twitter, we got the shows, and do you want to make a phone call? We'll wrap this up.
Yeah, sure. We just dial a random number at the end of every one, and if someone picks up, we try to just see what they're about.
Okay.
It only happens like 5% of the time, but
Okay.
what is the what's the area code from where you grew up?
301.
Okay. All right, let's just see. We didn't mention it. It's ringing. That's good news.
That's we've been.
The person you have called is unavailable right now.
Where are they?
Try again later.
They're unavailable, dude.
Yeah, but what the?
llamado no está disponible.
What kind of message is that?
They're unavailable.
That means it's a valid number?
Message 2. Switch 116.
Now it's like a number station. That's like lost.
Yeah, but he said the person who calls unavailable. Try again later.
I think they're just being polite.
Please try again later.
And let me ask you another question. Who is the guy that books that voiceover?
And how long has he been doing it for?
Yeah.
When was
that recording made? It's like lost with the numbers.
That's what I'm
Like,
saying, like Rousseau.
yeah.
What are we doing? We're on tour.
We're on tour. I mean, I think you're going to be hearing this while we're on tour.
Yeah.
Thetenderloins.com at a city near you. September 25th. Well, no, it'll already have started.
I don't know.
Thursday nights, Impractical Jokers at 9:30. Jokers Wild, our new show at 10 o'clock. Tell your friends about Jokers Wild, please, so we get more episodes.
Right.
And if you like the podcast, tweet about it, share it, Facebook it, get other people to listen to it. And if you don't, just go fuck yourself.
Fuck yourself.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Rachel.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tommy.
I heard that Rome wasn't built in a day. Then how come everyone is rushing to get ahead? And if I seem to be reserved, that's just my way. Your questions seem like you're interrogating me. Yeah, I try. Then again, I don't try. I get an F for effort. I get a D next time. Okay. Here we go. I heard the lemon metaphor 4 million times. And I don't stand for lemonade, don't ask me why. And would a beverage stand be a job that be desired? And where would I get the wood, and should I try? Should I try? Then again, I don't try. I get an F for effort. I get a 65. Yeah, I try. Yeah. Then again, I don't try. I get an F for effort. I might as well just. The currency don't grow like leaves on trees. Then how come my money comes and goes so seasonally? And I wish farmers planted plants instead of thieves. My friend pays a ton of green for greener groceries. Yeah, she tries. Then again, she don't try. She gets an F for effort. She'll plant a tree next time. Yeah, she tries. Then again, I don't try. I get an F for effort. I get a D next time. Yeah, I try.